Thank you for meeting with me today. I'm super excited to talk with you about the movie. I watched the trailer like 10,000 times because I think it's awesome to see action. And I love action movies. I just wanted to ask you, as a director who are with screenwriters and actors throughout the day on a daily basis, how do you feel about the strike that's going on right now?
Well, the strike is definitely it's something that had to happen. It's one of those things where, as much as I wish that I was on set right now, I had a movie that I was literally just about to start and it ended up getting put on the shelf. As much as there are some, personal disappointments, where it's like, oh man, I wish I was shooting that movie. I realized that it's for the greater good. And this is just like one of those things that just needs to be handled. So it seems like slowly but surely it's going to get rectified. And hey man, like, I'm afraid of robots. Who wants AI taking over? I thought robots were supposed to do the simple menial jobs for humans, not like the creative stuff. Like, let's keep the robots out of the creative world.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Especially if they work so hard, they should be paid for what they're working on. And even when it comes to streaming services, I think it's important for actors and writers to get the proper payment that they need if their current work is actually on streaming services. Moving on, I wanted to know, what was your thought process working on this film, The Collective?
Well, I had never done a traditional action movie before. The majority of my movies were either horror movies, I've done some crime dramas, and producer Richard Switzer sent me this script and I read it and I was like, ooh, it's an action movie, but it's got some horrifying ingredients. It's got some crime drama ingredients. I can cook with this recipe. And I was pretty excited
Yeah.
to use some of the elements in my older movies, the horror and the crime drama, but mix them
Hmm.
with this more traditional action movie. And you said it in the opening there, like, what I loved about the script was it didn't get bogged down and convoluted with all these subplots. Like, there's no romance that's happening during all of this. He doesn't have to save the girl in the end. It's just about the action and the mission. He's got a mission
Right.
to do and he's going to do it. And I really appreciated that, because too many action movies are just so formulaic, whereas a viewer, you're almost like, you already know what's going to happen
What's
in the
gonna happen?
first 2 minutes.
Exactly, especially me since I watch action movies all the time. I pretty much know what's happening within the first two scenes. Um, I also wanted to ask you, action films usually have a history of having sequels and part twos or part threes or part fours. And would that be in the future for your film?
Well, all I can say is this: I would love to go on another mission with my friends at the collective, and I think that although they did their job in the first movie, I feel like there's probably a lot of other forms of evil out there that they might have to provide their specific brand of justice to. So I would love to go on another mission with these guys. Absolutely.
I can take that as a yes. If it's in the works, if it's not in the works, I hope it is because, like I said, I love action and I love to see more in the future. So I did notice that you have Tyrese and Ruby Rose, and Tyrese is not, he has done action movies before in the past, and so I wanted to know, what was it like working with, in my book they're A-listers, but what was it like working with somebody like Tyrese who has worked in action movies like in the past, somebody like him.
It was unbelievable working with Tyrese, because I mean, like, shortly after we did this movie, Fast and the Furious X comes out, and it's this massive franchise movie. So it's like unbelievable. And Tyrese is right in the middle of all that. So yeah, it was a privilege to work with Tyrese. And what I loved about working with him was, we're all about realism when we make movies, obviously, for the most part. And Tyrese was all about that and the authenticity. He was like, look, Tom, I'm not going to be doing one of these fights where I do like a 16 hit spinning back fist combination. I'm going to see a guy, I want to just punch him in the face. He's going to go down. And I was like, I love that. Keep it simple. Because sometimes when you try to do too much, it ends up looking
Mhm.
like, this isn't a John Wick movie. This is a
Yeah.
very specific form of action. And not to sound like some tough guy, but I've seen a couple of real fights in my day. Usually one or two punches is all it takes. It's not like in the movies where you can take 60
Yeah, and keep
punches,
fighting back.
keep fighting back. It's like, no, that doesn't happen. Noses are pretty easy to break, and then the fight's usually over.
Yeah.
So I love that Tyrese added that element of authenticity.
I agree. I can see that as well. In the future, what movies are you planning on creating for people like me who are becoming a fan of your work?
Well, I love to tell all kinds of stories. I'm not really one of these guys who puts himself in just any one box as far as a genre.
Mhm.
But I would love to do some comedy. I feel like the collective had some funny moments. I've never done a comedy, and I would kind of almost just like to see what happens if I get just 90 minutes of an opportunity to make people laugh. I think that there might be some success there. So, that's something that I'd like to do down the road. I love doing crime dramas. As an Italian American, I love anything involving La Cosa Nostra, the
Yeah.
mafia. So I would love to, my movie Vault from 2019. If you haven't seen that one, you might like it. You might want to check it out. That's a mafia movie, and I would love to do another movie in that genre. So I just love making films, to be honest with you.
I can see that. You know what's so crazy? I wanted to ask you, you have a very charismatic personality, and I wanted to know if you were going to tap into comedy. So I'm happy that you did say that, because I could see a comedy movie, probably something with like dry humor. I don't know, in your future, if that's the avenue you were going towards.
Yeah, you're pretty right on that one. So I appreciate you saying that.
And my last question for you, I wanted to know, what movie did you see? Are you excited to see between Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Oof, that's a tough one because I got to tell you, like when I first saw the Barbie trailer, I was like, this is genius. Like this is brilliant. Like I just thought it
Right.
was so cool how they took that approach to it. But then you see Oppenheimer, and people are just like it's a mind-blowing story. And I'm a big history buff too. I love World War
Yeah.
II history and things like that. So that's a tough one, man. I almost don't know which one to pick. So maybe I would just have to see both of them, I guess. I can't pick. I'm sorry to cop out on that one.
No, understood. Yeah, Oppenheimer, when I first seen the trailer, I'm like, wow, this is going to be like, because I think people are crazy about the World War II history. That's something that's been in American history for a while that we learned when we were younger. And to learn more about the bomb and how was it created and how we took over the Americans and made, us win the war. That's something that we're interested in. And Barbie, the way they market the campaign is just like it makes you want to go see it. So I could agree. It's kind of hard. I would choose both as well.
Yeah, I mean, movies are meant to be a lot of things, but one of them that they're meant to be is fun. And you just watch that Barbie trailer and you're like, man, this looks like fun. Like this is
Yeah.
just like but in the same token, like you said, I mean, the effects and history of the atomic bomb, I mean, there's a reason why there's only been two of them dropped in the history of the world, and that's a good thing. But it's really cool that people get a chance to see that come to life, and I can't wait. Have you seen either one of them yet?
No, I'm supposed to go see Barbie on Friday, and then Oppenheimer, I'm not sure when I'm gonna go see it yet, but
All right, well, it's in the mix for me too. I'm excited.
oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I appreciate it, and I cannot wait to see your movie in theaters. And is there any if people would like to watch it early? Will there be an early screening for the public?
Uh, the main place where I think they're trying to have me direct people to is Apple TV. You can check it out on Apple TV. As far as theaters, we'll be releasing Quiver distribution will be releasing that information real soon. So be on the lookout.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you. Have a great day, Akanke.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.